Audrey Robertson in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Fourth, entry 5076, RWFC Can't Stop Margie, owned by Tristan Kaiser of Kemar, Maryland. And fifth, entry 637, BMH Marcia, owned by Bailey Hawk of Petersburg, Pennsylvania. In the ring on our Shorthorn side at this time is Class 5 Early Spring Heifer Calves.
Okay, in our Shorthorn show, the young man's heifer, I think, wins this class, has an advantage in terms of structural soundness, especially the way she wants to move off of her hind legs. Really an attractive female up through her front end. Certainly has some mass to her as well, got some rib shape. Really sound heifer the way she gets out and goes. Nice heifer for the young man. Like some things about the heifer in second. When she gets out and we put her into motion, she wants to be a little soft off of her hind end. If she moved a little better off of her hind legs, I think she could win the class. But for me anyway, that's really the thing that makes the difference. Certainly appreciate the softness of the middle in that female. Very attractive female, just like to change the way she moves off her hind end. Young man's got a really strong maternal heifer in third. Got certainly a sound female, very feminine. If you look at her indexes like BMI, she certainly excels the class in that, but she's given up power and to compete with the heifers at the top, but certainly appreciate that about her. Two heifers have some similarities. Young man's red heifer, I think, is more sound the way she moves off her hind end compared to the heifer in fifth. That's the main thing that would break that particular pair for me, but hopefully females, that'll be productive.
Congratulations to our Class 5 Early Spring Heifer Calf exhibitors. Your first place went to entry 3292 CLF Nugget, owned by Joshua Blakeman from Oak Hill, Ohio. Second was awarded to 5140 Purple RM Max Rosa, owned by Madeline Rhodes from Centerville, Maryland. Third, to 2949 CC Farm Proud Fool Jenny, owned by Ryan Leister of Tawnytown, Maryland. Fourth to 2449 Ike's Dixie, owned by Jacob Eichenlaud of Mifflinburg, Pennsylvania. And fifth to Lily, owned by Kenzie Peisel of Accident, Maryland. In the ring at this time, we are going to place our early spring heifer class in Class 6.
Well, good morning. This is sure a nice way to start off our show here today. We got a really powerful individual. You just love the way this heifer moves when we get her out here on the walk. She's really elegant in the way she's designed. She's really extended out through that front end, has that shoulder laid back into her really nice. The heifer really could have stood a lot of competition out here. Congratulations.
Over here on the Shorthorn side, just a pair of heifers. I think the young man's red and white heifer wins this class very handily. Very attractive female, made right through her front end, got some rib shape to her, good out through her rump, and she moves out really good off all four of her feet and legs. Really a heifer I think has a world of potential ahead of her. White heifer that will be second in this class is just giving up too much performance to compete with that powerful heifer, but she has some good pieces in her and hopefully make a good female for the young lady.
Entries here coming from Schaefer Show Cattle in London Park and Connor, London.
Good morning, everyone. We'd like to welcome you to the Limousin Lim-Flex show that is currently happening here in Ring 2 of the large arena. First class was entry number 300, Spring Heifer Calves. We had entry number 4926 that was first place, exhibited by Alyssa Slimmer, Rough Water Cattle. Now in the ring, we have class 301, Junior Heifer Calves. 3 entries.
Results of Class 6 early spring heifer calves. First was awarded to 2277 CF Mona Lisa, exhibited by Knox Harrison from New Mari, Bowling, Texas. Your second place went to 5628, and if you were in the program, has moved up to that class, is VR Snowflake, owned by Emily Vance from Greensboro, Maryland. We are now going to select your early spring heifer calf champion and reserve. We are bringing back 4797 from Class 4 CF Dream Only. From Class 5 CLF Nugget, which is entry 3292. And from Class 6 2277 CF Mona Lisa. Those in contention for reserve is as follows: 3255 CLF Amelia. From Class 5, your second place went to 5140 Purple RM Max Rosa. And from Class 9, your second was entry 5628 VR Snowflake.
Over here on the short-arm side, we've got a division champion to select. For me, it's pretty logical. The young man with the red and white heifer from our last class, I think, puts all the good things together. Really attractive female, really good in her structure, good in her neck, got some rib shape to her. Gets out and goes, I think, as well as anything in the division. I think after that, it's close between our other two winners. It's really a matter of preference. I like the pattern of the heifer from the younger class. She'll be our reserve champion, but both really good heifers. Congratulations to you.
Back in here on the Limousin side, we got them lining up here. Really stout set of competition we have in here in this particular class. Both the London boys. Those are maternal sibs, just out of different sires. I was talking to Jamie this morning.
We're going to take a moment and recognize the judge for our Limousin show today, Mr. Brian Baragry, who's a proud resident of Montana. His first show he judged was in the early 1990s in Reno, and has since then judged some of North America's most premier livestock events, including the National Western. Brian has been in the cattle business for 40 years, growing up in the industry and then working for a number of operations, including Beartooth Angus Ranch. He then established his own ranch, Baragry Cattle Company, with his family in the Beartooth, Montana region. Baragry Cattle Company is a seed stock operation running about 200 head of Angus. Could we please have a warm welcome for our judge, Mr. Brian Baragry.
Really nice trio of heifers out here. I think there's a lot of good in all three of these heifers. The heifer for me that fits today, probably the heifer that's the furthest along in her condition, but with that being said, she does the most things right for me in terms of balance and overall power. In terms of her rib shape, we get in behind this heifer. She has some base width for as elegant and extended as she is through that front end. She gives up a little bit in terms of body length to the heifer in second, but I think she does enough other things really well to kind of come to the top for me. Really like this heifer in second. She's got that added power as far as bone and extension. Maybe not quite the depth of side, not quite the spring of rib yet, but she's really lean in her makeup. This heifer has a load of future ahead of her. Big stout heifer coming out here in third, a heifer that you really admire for her performance and her size. Maybe like to pull her apart just a little bit in that fore rib and fill her out there just a little bit to get her higher today. But you got to admire her for her size, her length, all that bone that's under a heifer that's really going to go on and make a really powerful cow.
Results of your early spring heifer calf champion division is as follows. Congratulations, CF Mona Lisa, exhibited by Knox Harrison Newmayer from Bowling, Texas. Your reserve champion early spring heifer calf reserve champion was CF Dream Only, exhibited by Michaela Sugg from Alden, New York. In the ring at this time, we have Class 9 junior heifer calves. We have 4 heifers in this class, ranging in age from February 2nd to February 25th.
In our Limousin Lim-Flex ring, results of Class 301 Junior Heifer Calves. First place went to entry number 5293. That is TSSLBTOM Nadia, exhibited by Tim Schaefer Show Cattle. Second place went to entry number 2506. That is CLAC Midnight Charmed, exhibited by Parker London. Third place was entry number 2472, shown by Connor London. We are now selecting our Junior Heifer Calf Champion and Reserve.
Not too many calves here in the first division, but looks like a real nice lineup. Limousines have really been taking off over here the last several years. Don't really quite look like the ones that we used to resemble about 10 years ago.
Well, I sure appreciate this division of heifers. I think there's a really a lot of quality out here. We didn't have a lot of numbers, but I think that being said, what we have out here are some really good females from top to bottom. Really only 4 in the division, but I think they're really good. You can kind of tell the kind I like. I like those heifers that look like females. I like those heifers with some dimension to their lower rib. I like them to be complete. But one thing we really have to watch is make sure that they can get out and move, and I think all 3 of these heifers kind of show you they can. I'm going to go out, take another look, and select your division champion.
Schaefer.
Really nice class of February heifers. I think it's really close on the top pair. Chose to go with the red heifer. I think she really puts things together. She's, I think, the most complete of the 4. I really like the way that she's made up through her shoulder, the way that her shoulder blade lays in, the way the neck comes out of it when she gets out and goes. I like the way she moves. She's certainly given up a little performance to the roan heifer, but I really like the package that she's made in, the way she gets out and goes. I think a really attractive female that's made right from front to back. Take nothing away from the roan heifer. Got some really good things in it. When you get on top of her, she's got a little more boldness in her shoulder than the heifer that leads the class. I think she's a heifer that really has a lot of good things about her. It's certainly a very extended heifer up through her front end. I'd just like to change her a little bit through the shoulder and the way she is in her top. And I think she could move just a little stronger off those hind legs relative to the heifer that wins the class. Not that she's particularly bad, I just think the heifer that wins the class has an advantage. This heifer that's in third, at first glance, there's some things you really like about her. When you put her into motion and watch her walking away, she wants to hawk in, and she walks away from you, and that causes her to get her feet outside of her skeleton just a bit. But she certainly has some goodness in her front end and got some rib shape as well. Take nothing away from this heifer that concludes the class, a little smaller package, certainly relative for her size, is made well. I think she's just given up too much performance to compete with the heifers up the line. Really good group of heifers. I think that heifer that wins the class is very complete.
Congratulations in Division I champion female in our Limousin Lim-Flex show. We'll go to entry number 5293. That is TSSLBTOM Nadia, a February 25th, 25 daughter of Blacklist, exhibited by Tim Schaefer Show Cattle. And reserve was entry number 4926. That is Senate Newt 523N. She is a March 7th, 25 female, sired by Comeback Kid, exhibited by Alyssa Slimmer, Roughwater Cattle.
Really powerful individual out here in a single entry in this class, but I think this heifer sure could have stood some competition. You admire her completeness, the way she fills out in that forerib, leg comes into a shoulder and then out, extended out through that front end. Heifer that's really excellent in terms of her length aside through the center portion of her body. And then when you get her out and on the move, she covers her track pretty well. A heifer sure be interesting to get her back out here later on.
Results of Class 9 here on your Shorthorn side is as follows. First place in your junior heifer calf division was awarded to 5222 CF Mona Lisa, exhibited by Weston Ward of Greens Fork, Indiana. Second went to GCR Mona Madness, entry number 2537, owned by Peyton Davis of Emmitsburg, Maryland. Third to entry 3238, LPA Max Rosa, owned by Madeline Rankin of Centerville, Pennsylvania. And fourth to 4654, Bro Dina, owned by Broughton Cattle Company, Silver Spring, New York. In the ring, we have junior heifer calves on the Shorthorn side, and then we will be moving into your junior heifer calf division in reserve. Thank you.
In our Shorthorn class, there are two heifers that are colored in a similar manner. I think the young lady that starts the class, her heifer is more sound as she moves about the ring. I like the way that she holds herself together. She's made good right through the junction of her neck and shoulder. She gets out, takes a nice step, and covers her track. Really attractive female. I think the other heifer, when you get her into motion, she's not quite as sound, especially off of the hind legs. She's fighting the halter a bit as well, and I think she's not quite as soft in her middle. But I think certainly a female that's got a good future ahead of her and can make a good cow for the young lady. Thank you.
First place in Class 305 Limousin Lim-Flex show and also Division II champion female will be entry number 2319. That is WB Whiskey 443M, a September 8th, 24 female, sired by Jumpstart and exhibited by Landon Clark. Now in the ring, we have our April junior yearlings, Class 312.
Results on your Shorthorn side for Class 10 junior heifer calves. First was awarded to CFPC Dream Lady, exhibited by Emily Vance from Greensboro, Maryland. Second went to CSF Cherry, owned by Aubrey Short of Moncton, Maryland. In the ring at this time, we are going to select your junior heifer calf champion in reserve. From Class 9, we have entry 5222 CF Mona Lisa. From Class 10, we have CFPC Dream Lady. Your seconds are from 2537 GCR Mona Madness, and from 4735 is CFF Cherry. We will be moving into Class 13 winter heifer calves after this division.
Really powerful individual to start off this class, a heifer that excels the class in terms of performance, but she does so with a lot of other quality things. She has that rib cage that I like. She's pretty feminine out through that front end. Her shoulders laid back into her. Yeah, she's getting some condition on her, but I think she carries it really well. When you put her in motion, she gets out and takes a nice full stride and has that angle to her foot. I think just a really stout individual. Heifer coming out next. You really like the quality in terms of bone and length. Maybe when we put her in motion, we'd like to give her just a little more authority as she pushes off of that rear two. But I think that's being pretty picky on an awful nice female, just not quite the power and the lower rib shape we had in the heifer above her today.
Over here in the short run ring, we're selecting a division champion. For me, it's real logical. We're going to go with the champion reserve from the two in the younger class. So the young man with the red heifer with the cowboy hat will be champion. The young lady with the white roan will be reserve. Congratulations.
Results of Class 312, April Junior Yearling Females in our Limousin Lim-Flex show. First place goes to entry number 1336. That is TSSL BTOM Destiny's Child, exhibited by Elena Groft. Second is entry 2301. That is Butler Farms Larissa, 858M, shown by Mackenzie Umana. We now have in the ring Class 313. Those are the March yearling females.
Looks like we have a single entry here in the Shorthorn show. Certainly a very attractive female, very sound as she moves. Really like her, the amount of rib shapes that she has to her. We'll talk about her some more a little bit later.
Results of your junior heifer calf division is as follows. Congratulations to entry 5222 with CF Mona Lisa is your champion heifer calf, exhibited by Harrison Neumayer from Bowling, Texas. Your junior heifer calf reserve is entry 2537 with GCR Mona Madness. Congratulations to Peyton Davis of Emmitsburg, Maryland. Results of Class 13 is as follows. Winner heifer calf entry 4832 TBFC Sierra Crystal Knight, exhibited by William Benchlick of Monongalia, Pennsylvania, is first. In the ring at this time is Class 14, senior heifer calf, single entry from 4263.
Over here on the Shorthorn side, we just got a single entry, young man's heifer. Certainly got quite a bit of muscle to her. It's a heifer that's pretty sound the way she moves around the ring. We'll talk about her some more a little bit later when she comes back. Thank you.
Results of Class 14 in our Shorthorn side. Senior heifer calf entry 4263 was first with GCR SGM Mona Madness, owned by Sawyer McGrew of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. In the ring now, we are going to select your senior and reserve, senior calf champion and reserve. From Class 13, we have entry number 4832. And from Class 14 is 4263.
Really nice pair of heifers out here in this class. A heifer kind of comes to the top for me, maybe has the most balance. She really has that feminine look. She has that added rib shape to her. You get in behind this heifer and she has some internal dimension also. She has some top in her. She has some muscle shape. And yet she's really refined, really elegant in her joints, down through her lower structure. I think this heifer's really extended out through that front end in a feminine package. Just a real nice heifer to start off our class. Heifer in second, maybe got just a little more power to her, a heifer that excels the class in terms of body length, maybe not quite as extended out through that front end in terms of femininity. Is excellent in the bone work she has. I think this heifer has a lot of potential on down the road, just giving up in rib shape and lower 1/3 and thickness when you get in behind her. I think excellent pair of heifers here.
Over here on the Shorehorn side, we're picking another division. I think the young man with the red heifer wins this division going away. Very attractive female. I really like the way that she holds herself together on the move, got some rib shape to her. I think very, very good heifer, and we'll see her a bit later. Take nothing away from the young man's roan heifer. I just think relative to the red one, isn't made quite as well from a structure standpoint. The way that she moves off her hind legs. She's a little bit on the go as well, but I think a heifer that's got some really good pieces in her and could be mated and make a really productive female for the young man.
Results of Class 313 in our Limousin Lim-Flex show. First place will be to go to entry number 3878. That is TASF Make It Classy, shown by Alyssa Slimmer, Roughwater Cattle. And second is 2898, LCC Royal May, shown by Peyton Coleman. Now in the ring is our January Junior Yearling, Class 314.
Congratulations to your senior heifer calf champion, 4832 TBFC Sierra Crystal Knight, owned by William Binlick from Magnolia, Pennsylvania. Your reserve champion senior heifer calf was GCRSGM Mona Madness by SM by Sawyer McGrew, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. In the ring right now, we have your late yearling females, 3 in a class.
Really nice single entry here. This heifer really is long through the center portion of that body. You get behind her, she has some turn, some shape to that rear quarter. A heifer that's extended enough, I think, out through that front end. You like her for her bone work. She gets out and moves really good. An individual sure could have took some competition out here. A really nice female. Be fun to get her back out here.
First place in Class 314 Junior Yearling Heifers in our Limousin show is going to be entry number 3799. That is Winslow's Moxie 631M, shown by Olivia Olam. We are now ready for the selection of our Division 4 champion female and reserve. In the ring, we need from Class 312, entry number 1336. And from 313, we need entry number 3878. From 314, 3799. Our reserves will stand as 2301, 3878.
We certainly have three very attractive females in our shorthorn class. I think you could justify lining them up some different ways. My preference for the young man with the lighter roan female, I think that she's, from a structure standpoint, I appreciate her, especially up through her front end. She's much more angular through the top of her shoulder. She has a bit more extension to her neck as well. When she gets out and goes, I think she holds herself together and takes a little bit longer stride. Really good heifer, I think, a lot of future before her. Really like the completeness of her, the way that she puts some things together. When we get to our second heifer, she probably has a bit more muscle in terms of width across her top, but with that, she's also got some width across the top of her shoulder. Her neck doesn't come into the top of her shoulder as well as the other heifer that wins the class. Really got to appreciate the amount of body mass that the female has. She's got some spring to her rib. She's really thick out through her rump, lets down into a good quarter. I think has a lot of positive things. I just like to change the front end and make her just a tick longer in her stride. Take nothing away from the young man's heifer in third. She's certainly a good, productive kind of female. I think has a lot of future ahead of her. I actually prefer the design of the front end of this female to the one in second, but I think she gives up some things in terms of total completeness to the females up the line. But female, I think, is going to make an outstanding cow for the young man.
As we get these class winners back out here for this division, I think we've really got a powerful set of females all the way out, both the class winners and the respective seconds. I think there's a lot of shows any of these could win, and I think you could shake these heifers up, and on any given day, any one of them could win this division. I'm going to take one more look here, kind of try to make my mind up. I think there's a lot of quality here. Let's give them a round of applause for a really nice division of heifers.
Congratulations to Class 17 exhibitors on our Shorthorn side. First was awarded to Midnight Miranda, exhibitor 2807, shown and owned by Liam Hartner from Marriottsville, Maryland. Your second place went to 2615, SULL Rosie Dreams, owned by Bristol Bates of Chandlersville, Ohio. And third to CLF-TBFC, Miss Starlet, owned by William Binlick from Pennsylvania. Additionally, your intermediate champion was exhibitor 2807 Midnight Miranda, and your reserve intermediate champion was 2615 Rosie's Dreams. In the ring at this time, we have your yearling female division. First and second from this class will go on to be your early spring champion and reserve female.
Because you don't want to have to.
Congratulations, and Division 4 champion female in our Limousin show goes to entry number 3878. That is TASF Make It Classy, exhibited by Alyssa Slimmer, Roughwater Cattle. And our Reserve Division 4 animal is entry number 1336. That is TSSL BTOM Destiny's Child, exhibited by Elena Groft. Now in the ring, they are selecting the Grand Champion and Reserve Grand Champion Limousin Lim-Flex females. Again, we'd like to take a moment to remind everyone that our Supreme Female and Bull Show will start this afternoon at 5 o'clock. Supreme Female will be awarded a trailer as a gift, a sponsorship gift from EMM Sales and Service. That trailer is on display in the trade show area, lettered and ready to go to the champion of the Supreme Champion of our show today. So if you get a chance, please say thank you to EMM and good luck to all exhibitors from our Champion Female show. We're currently in the ring, and we are selecting our Grand and Reserve Grand Champion females on our Limousin side. In the ring, our Division 1 champion is entry number 5293. Our Division 2 champion is entry number 2319. From Division 4, we have entry number 3878. Our reserve line stands as entry number 4926 and 1336.
Extremely gratifying to get these division winners back out here. I know we didn't have a very big show today, but I do think these are really high quality females. These would be competitive at any level and anywhere. I think these heifers are really good. They do a lot of things right. When we're selecting these show heifers, yeah, we want them to be extremely fancy and up-headed and everything, but I think we also need to look at how easy doing they are, how much rib shape they have, you know, how they're going to perform out in the pasture as cows. That's why we like to see them be able to travel so they can get out and get to water and get to the best feed in the pasture. And I think all three of these females have the ability to do that. I think they'll go on and raise some really good calves. For me today, I've got one in mind. I want to take another look. Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause. This is a really nice set of females.
Well, here in the Shorthorn Show, apologies for taking a little more time. I think this is a very interesting class to evaluate, a lot of differences in them, some things that you see when you walk up on the class that kind of catch your eye. One of the things that caught my eye when I started looking at some of these heifers coming in is how much condition they're carrying. I'll tell you, a couple of them, I don't know that they need to have quite that much flesh on them to be in the show ring. The other thing, I think there's some differences when we start to evaluate the structure. After I got them lined up and asked to move them, the two that I think moved the best seemed to run away from the rest of them. I don't know if that's because people dragging them or the way that they're made, but I think this young lady's going to win the class basically on the completeness and the structural soundness. I really appreciate that female when she gets out and goes. She puts her back foot down where the front one was. I think she's a very sound female. She's good up through her neck. She's got some rib, and I think a really productive look to her. A lot of things about that heifer you've got to like and appreciate, I think. And for me, I think she wins this class. I think when you get after that, you're kind of looking at some pieces. There are some differences in the data for those of you that pay attention to it. It didn't have any bearing on the way I placed them, but there are a couple of heifers in this class that are getting up there with the higher birth EPDs and things that we like to pay attention to and need to be aware of. But this female, once you get the other one out of the ring, I think is the soundest of the heifers left when you get them on the move, and that's why she's in second place. I'd like to change her just a little bit, the way she's made, through her throat and everything, maybe clean her up, but that's a heifer with a lot of rib shape in her, got a good foot on her, gets out and goes, and I think a real productive female. Appreciate a lot of things about her. Young lady's heifer in third, I think just kind of lands there because I think of the heifers left, she's the most sound of them. Well, that's probably not the right thing to use in this particular place. I like her relative to the heifer in fourth in terms of her end frame size. For me, the fourth heifer is getting a little on the big side for me, but there's some other things about it. This heifer is really complete. I like the way she's put together. Doesn't have as much hind quarter as one or two of the heifers in the class, but she gets out and goes and moves relatively well. But I really like her rib shape, the way her neck and her shoulder come together. I think she has some balance. This heifer, as far as soundness, really is a sound female. She's, as I said, plenty big, and she might be the leanest of the 5 heifers in the class. But for me, she's getting on the big side a little bit, and I'd like to see her a little fuller in her fore ribs. She's a little flat in her first couple of ribs. But boy, that's a big, powerful female with good feet and legs and some good foot size, and I think has a lot of potential for what you can do as a breeding tool. When this light heifer comes in, light-colored heifer comes in, she really catches your eye. Very highly presented female. But boy, when you get behind her and look at her moving off of her hind legs, she kind of disappoints you a bit, but a very attractive female, the way that she's made in her neck and her shoulder. She's maybe just a little bit straight in her shoulder, and I think that has some effect to the reason why she has a little shorter stride. But the way she comes off her hind legs, she just really getting kind of overpowered on the structure for me. But a very attractive heifer. If she got out and moved a little better, I think she'd be competitive. But for me, I really value a lot on the structure, and she's just not getting off those hind legs the way I'd like to see it. But 5 outstanding heifers that I think all are really good breeding tools for the exhibitors.
I'd like to
Excellent bull calf, a single entry out here. A bull calf that's really well balanced. You get behind this bull, and he's got that muscle shape. He's got that masculinity coming into him. He shows a lot of the things that you want for the breed as far as characteristics, the thickness, the top. When you study him from the ground, when he's on the move, he has all the flex that he needs. A bull that's really true on his feet and legs. Just an excellent individual. Sure could have stood some competition out here today.
In our limousine ring, congratulations and grand champion female.
Good job, Grace.
Went to entry number 2319. That is HB Whiskey 443M. She is a September 8th, 24 female, sired by Jumpstart and exhibited by Landon Clark. Our reserve champion female was entry number 3799. That is Winslow's Moxie 613M, a January 24 female, sired by 24 Carat and exhibited by Olivia Ullum. And congratulations and grand champion to our limousine bull, which was entry number 5289. That is TASF Nighthawk, a March 13th, 25 son of Ratliff Killing Time and exhibited by Thomas and Son Farms. Also, our Produce of Dam first place winner was entry number 5160 with an entry by Connor London. Ladies and gentlemen, that